Now let me explain something most people miss. The Bible is the book of the law. From Genesis to Revelation, God has laid out statutes, decrees, principles, and promises. Some are universal laws that apply to all humanity. Others are covenant promises for those who are in Christ. But the key is, you must know them. You must be like the wise lawyer in a courtroom, able to argue your case before the judge using the law. When Jesus was tempted in the wilderness, he didn't cry, he didn't plead, he quoted the law, "It is written." That's how you win battles in the Spirit, not with emotion, not with empty words, but by standing on what is written. That's why the devil hates it when believers start reading and studying the Word. Because when you know the law, he loses his power to oppress you. The tragedy is that many believers are in spiritual prison, not because God hasn't heard their prayers, but because they are trying to bypass the law. They fast, they cry, they pray, and yet nothing changes. Why? Because heaven responds to legal alignment, not emotional outbursts. God is bound by His Word. He exalts His Word above His name. Psalm 138, verse 2. If He said it, He will do it. But you must know what He said. You must come before the throne of grace with boldness, not with guesswork. Boldness comes from knowledge. If you don't know what's written, how can you claim what is yours? This is why the Word tells us in Proverbs 2, verse 4, to seek wisdom as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures. The Word must become more valuable to us than money, more essential than food. Deuteronomy 6 tells us to talk about the Word when we sit, when we walk, when we lie down and rise up, to write it on the doorposts of our homes, to bind it as a sign on our hands and forehead. What is this telling us? God does not want an ignorant child, let alone an ignorant lawyer. We are His ambassadors, His representatives. How can we represent a kingdom we don't understand?